I've experienced that. There was times where my family just didn't have the funds to be able to send me to school, because if there was no money, I wasn't going to school. And I really, really loved studying. I really want to help and, stress the importance of education. I want to be able to inspire younger people to chase and go for their dreams, because, it's not always easy. You may not have the facilities to be able to do so, the finances. I feel like my purpose is to help others. I would rather struggle and ensure those that are closer to me or need more help than me to be in a better position. If it's even one person, if I can help one person, that's enough for me. Oh my goodness. Hi guys, we're back again for another episode of Being B. And this week, we're going to have some conversations. We're going to have a nice chilled. I'm going to try and be nice. I'm going to get into it a little bit. We've got an interesting topic today we're just going to discuss. So I can't wait to actually get into the episode. But as always, before we get into it, let's sweep the house. Let's kind of just have a moment of reflection about this week. How has my week been? How has your week been? Have you been busy? Have you been working? Have you been sleeping? Not very productive, but I hope you've been productive. It's the summer right now. And oh, actually, no, it is coming up to the end of summer. See, I never get this because September, is that still summer, or are we coming to the end of summer? Anyways, we're like heading towards the end and into autumn. I don't know if you're a summer type of person or you're a winter type of person. Let me know. But I for sure am all for summer. I love the sun because when the sun's out, everyone's happy, everyone's just in a good mood. And the UK, yeah, let's not even talk about UK weather. But anyways, yeah, how's your week been? My week's been really good. I've been up to not so much. Usual work, still working, and that's okay. Like that's going well, work's going okay. Still, on the job hunt, still looking for work, and I'm hoping by the grace of God, by the end of this year, I should hopefully have something. But guys, it is not easy. It's so tough. But we're here, we're surviving, we keep pushing through, and we will get there. So yeah, the week's been decent. I've been at the gym like right now. If you're a gym goer, like my body is in bits. I had a heavy chest session yesterday, chest and triceps, and I tell you, literally my bones are aching. Um, yeah, I've been away from the gym for quite some time actually. The whole period where I was at uni, as you already know, me and the LPC are done. Like that chapter is closed. It is done. It is finished. But it was, as you already know, very difficult. So the whole year I spent, I didn't go to the gym. I was eating crap. I was, oh, I was really, 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 really going through it. Let me tell you that. I was going through it. But I just had no motivation for the gym whatsoever because I was more stressed about like the uni work, exams, like almost every month I had an exam. Like this is how intense the LPC really is. You already know, I've already spoken about this. But I had a whole year where I was not going to the gym, no motivation. I just wanted to eat crap. My life was literally wake up, study, eat, study, sleep. And that was it for like a whole year and then do exams, and it was just chaos. But we're back in like the swing of things, slowly getting back into the gym, slowly getting back to where I really wanted to be. I'm trying to bulk up. Actually, that's maybe the wrong word. Not bulk up. I'm fairly lean as it is, but I just want to add a little bit more size, more definition. So that's that. Just the gym, really, strength is improving, everything's getting better. And that's it, really. Nothing else exciting has been going on during this week. I hope your week has been more exciting than mine has. But that's kind of it. A bit of a life update, I should say. Little life update. And what else? Yeah, back to house sweeping. Sorry, I kind of digressed there a little bit. House sweeping. Yeah, I guess yeah, maybe just that update. Um, Make sure you stick around for the rest of the episode as we are now going to get into it. So, the topic for this episode is what is our purpose in life? What is your purpose in life? What is my purpose in life? As usual, I will talk about my experiences as well. Guys, I really do try with, the topics that I, discuss and talk about. I like to also relate this back to my own personal experience. Let me just cast your minds back to the very first episode when we sat here. I said, this is our space to grow. It's all about being brave, being bold, and being brilliant. This is the whole essence of being B. And like I said, I always like to relate everything that we talk about back to my experiences to show you like these are things that we all go through. Like these are experiences that we will live. And if you're listening, wherever you are, wherever you're listening, it can hopefully, give you that bit of that feeling of, oh, actually, I'm not going through it alone. Like someone else is going through something similar. I think sometimes when you hear these things from other people, it can kind of make you feel a little bit better, dare I say, but it can make you feel that bit better. You might be going through something difficult, and just hearing someone else is also going through the same thing can kind of also make you feel like, oh, actually, it's completely normal. It's a little bit normal to feel like this, but what do I do to get myself up, to keep moving, to move forward? Because this is just life. Like I always say, this is life. These are things that happen, and we just have to try and keep pushing. So, what is the purpose of life? Why do we like what is our purpose? Do you have a purpose? Do you know your purpose? Do you not know your purpose yet? Like, are you still going through the process of trying to find what that purpose in life is for you? It can look very different for everybody. Some people already know what their purpose is. Some other people have gone through, you might be, I don't know, at the age of 30 and you still don't know what your purpose in life is. And that's genuinely fine. That is okay. For me, I guess, what is my purpose in life? Oh, it's a difficult one because I want to say I know what my purpose is, but then there's another part of me that kind of thinks, do I really know what my purpose is? Am I still, you know, going through, working through these emotions, trying to really discover who I am and what my true purpose is? It's kind of a 50-50 for me, because like right now, doing what I'm doing now, I've always known that at some point, I want to be able to help others. I believe like my purpose is to help other people. More so, I look at the younger generation, people that are younger than me, even not younger, even those that are older. And because I'm very, I'm so passionate about education and having the ability and the facilities to be able to go have education, because I know we're not all fortunate enough to be able to go to school and and learn. Some people don't have those capabilities or the facilities, the funds, the resources, the finance to be able to have access to education, because education is really important. It's really, really important. And fortunately for me, and hopefully for some of you guys that are listening, you've had that opportunity. I know here in the UK, it is something that is, I mean, not available to everyone, but it is easily accessible for us compared to other people that may live in more poorer countries. Guys, I tell you what, um, again, just applying this to the current situation. I know I have grown up here in the UK pretty much all my life, but I wasn't born here. But where I'm from, education was always a huge problem. It wasn't easy. It was very difficult. You know, if you didn't have, I guess, tuition, um, I can call it here. If you didn't have the funds to be able to pay for tuition, to be able to pay for your school fees, you weren't going to school. Like, it is as simple as that. It's very different. The education system here in the UK is so different to places like Africa, for instance, and some of like the poorer countries. But when again, I studied in back in Congo as well, because I'm Congolese. There we go. Just drop that one in there a little. Um, I studied there as well, so I've experienced that. I've experienced there was times where my family just didn't have the funds to be able to um, send me to school, because if there was no money, I wasn't going to school. And I really loved studying. And as I've already mentioned, like, and this is why I've placed so much importance on my education here, especially here in the UK, because I know what it's been like. I've always had that the want to study, to learn, and to be someone who's to be great, essentially. So having that experience back home, I know it was difficult, but my parents did everything that they could have to ensure that I had the ability to go to school, even if it was difficult. We didn't have tuition and there was no fees. They'd always find a way to make sure, okay, if this month there's not enough money for you to go, we have to make sure that you're back as soon as possible. And that's something that I'll always, and I say this, I'll always be, grateful for. Now being here, having the opportunity to go from, primary all the way to now having a master's. Like, guys, can we just round of applause for B? Because that is not easy. It is not easy at all. So having grown up and experienced that, I've always thought, could this be my purpose? Is this something I should also, you know, I really want to help and, stress the importance of education. I know things are changing in this day and age. There are so many ways that you can, education isn't always, or school isn't, the be all or end all of everything. And that there is different ways that you can go about things to still make something of yourself. But I do still believe that education is really important. And, I'm always looking for ways that I can help younger people, whether that's, you who is currently in secondary school, even primary school, and you want to go into a profession, such as one that I want to go into, like maybe in the legal profession, whether that's in tech, it can be anything in business. I want to, eventually create something that will allow younger people to kind of have dreams that they want. Sorry, I want to be able to inspire younger people to chase and go for their dreams, because it's not always easy. You may not have the facilities to be able to do so, the finances. Money is a huge talk on this podcast. This is not really, it's not the first or the last time you're going to hear me talk about money. It will always find a way to creep up, because I place so much value on, finance, because it is important. It's really how the world works. But I really am so passionate about helping younger people. And I feel like my purpose is to help others. In nature, I'm just someone who is, very helpful. I like to help others. I don't like to see people struggle. There can be times where I myself will put myself in a situation where I would rather struggle and ensure those that are closer to me or need more help than me to be in a better position and then help them. I know, that's, I don't know, you can think of it however you want, but in order to help other people, you need to make sure that you can help yourself first. You need to make sure that you're in a good position. Yes, of course, I do know that. But if I can help someone else, why not do it? And that's just how I work. That's just how B works. I place a lot of emphasis on helping others because I do think it's very important, and that's just what I believe is B's purpose in life. And what does that mean to me? What does that purpose mean to be? It means everything, because if if it's even one person, if I can help one person, that's enough for me. That is more than enough. And I really hope that a lot of the projects that I have in mind for bringing this to life, by the grace of God, as always, God is at the center of everything that I do. This is something you need to know. I just want to set that straight. Let's set this straight. God is at the center of everything that I do. And even during difficult situations, during, my most incredible and happy moments, or even when I'm going through difficult time, I will never, ever, lose my faith and my trust in God, because I know, and in everything I do, I always say, my prayers always say, to let Him guide me, to let Him take me to where I need to go, because He knows where my destination is. I don't know. I can't see where I'm meant to be. I can have a plan. I can, set things, plan things, but at the end of the day, I'm not guaranteed to get there if He does not allow, because He can, take me to a completely different direction. I might not understand it now, but later on, I'll know, okay, right, that's why he took you that way, because there's probably something ahead that was not meant for you. And He said, no, you're not going to go there. Let me take you this way. And His plans are always, the best plans. I believe that what He has planned for me are greater than what I can ever plan or imagine. And that's why I always place Him at the center of everything that I do. It's as simple as that. Point blank, period. Yeah, so what does that mean to me? I think purpose is just, for me, is it's a case of knowing what I want, being able to go for what I want, taking the steps along the way. And as I'm going and as I'm aiming for those things, I might fall. I might, encounter difficult times. I might, you know, go through difficult moments. But just being able to like persevere and keep pushing through those things is very, very important. And yeah, have I struggled to find my purpose in life? Yes, I have. I think anyone who at the moment she might not even know what your purpose in life is, that in itself is already a struggle, because you don't know. You're kind of like, "Oh, is this what I'm meant to be doing? Should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this?" It can be a struggle. I've had moments where I've experienced this, and it has been difficult. It hasn't been easy, but you kind of have to keep reminding yourself that tough times, difficult times are only temporary. They won't last forever, and there'll always be a way out. There will always be a way out. So I did also want to kind of break down a few things. Three signs that you might. So I wanted to discuss maybe just a few points before we move forward to be Reddit. Three signs that you might be lacking a sense of purpose. Number one, having little energy. Number two, not feeling enthusiastic about the future. And then point number three, not being able to recognize the things that you are accomplishing. I think when I was planning for this episode, I was just in my thought a little bit, and these were like, for me, these three things were the things I thought are, I guess, things you should kind of just bear in mind, take into consideration as you're thinking, oh, What is my purpose? Do I have a purpose? Break these things down, because if you have little energy or you're not enthusiastic about the future, like, are you like really thinking about your purpose? Are you, or are you not? I don't know. Just maybe a few pointers for you to think about as well, and kind of break down when you're kind of stuck in a place where you don't know what your purpose is, you don't know where your life is meant to be, where you want to be. That can be fine, but just think about those things. Take that away with you for the rest of the week, or life. I don't know. I'm not here to give you life lessons, but I'm here to give my 2 pence. Anyways, those are the things for you to think about for the rest of the week. Yeah, those 3 questions. Have a think. Little energy, not enthusiastic about the future, and not recognizing the things that you're accomplishing, because sometimes you can be accomplishing great things, but you're actually not having time to actually think about these things. So have a think about that for the rest of the week. Not here to give you life lessons, but just give a bit of my opinion there. Anyways, let's move on to my favorite section of the episode of the podcast. It is Be Reddit. Let's go. Let's see what we have this week. Right. So let's get into this week's Reddit story. Right. So, am I the bleep again? Guys, we don't swear around here. So you can insert whatever you want in that section. But am I the problem is what I'm going to be saying. Let's get into it. Am I the problem for quitting my perfect job and disappointing my family because I realized I want something different? Oh, this is juicy. Oh, okay. This is going to be an interesting one, actually, because I can already, from the title, I know that I'm going to be able to relate to this one, because this one's going to be a good one. Anyways, let's have a look. Let's see what this week's Reddit story is all about. Okay. Hi, Reddit. Oh, let me start that again. Hi, B. See, you're addressing that to me. Hi, B. Throw away. Oh, gosh, guys. Throw away because my family knows my main. Oh, okay. Sorry. So that means it's anonymous. This is going to be juicier. Okay, let's get into it. Throw away because my family knows my main. So keeping this completely anonymous. I, a 28-year-old female, have always been the golden child in my family. I know the pressure. Oh my God. Oh, this is, yeah. Anyways, let me continue. So, straight A student, full scholarship to a great university, then landed a well-paying job in finance right after graduation. Go you. I love that. Yes. Maybe you can give me some advice, because I'm here struggling. Still looking for a graduate job, but we're going to get one. We keep pushing, we keep applying, and it is on its way. Anyways, let's get back into it. Okay, so from the outside, I was winning at life. My parents were so proud of me. My younger siblings were always told to follow my example. I got promoted quickly, bought a condo at 26. Oh, guys, like condo. Condo, what the hell? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. This means apartment. Okay, I'll spell it out for you. CODON. Again, why did I say it like that? CODON. Gosh, it's giving BINGO, 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 and bingo was his name. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm an uncle, guys, so that's the only reason I know that song. Yeah. Get to know Coco Melon and that. Anyways, condo is basically another word for apartment. So that's spelled CONDO. CONDO. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, let's get back into it. Keep digressing. So I got promoted quickly, bought a condo at 26. I'm not American. Why do I keep saying that? Bought an apartment at 26 and was well on track to becoming an executive by 30. Okay, so yeah, 2 years away. Okay, not too far. Except, dum dum dum. I know exactly where this is going to go. So, I hated every minute of it. I dreaded waking up. I felt completely empty, like I was living for someone, like I was living someone else's life. The only part of my week I looked forward to was when I did photography on the weekends for fun. I'll take street shots, portraits, little creative projects. I'd lose myself in it for hours and actually feel something. Okay, so that tells me that this is, I mean, you already sound a lot more positive about, this than your job at the moment. But let's see where this goes. Fast forward to a few months ago. Fast forward to a few months ago. Or a few fast forward a few months. Anyways, fast forward to a few months ago, I had a massive panic attack in the office bathroom, sat on the floor shaking, and realized I couldn't do it anymore. I wasn't just unhappy, I was suffocating. Ooh, that is tough. So I quit. Oh, not immediate. Okay, right. Cool. You've redeemed yourself there. Yeah, not immediately. I gave notice, wrapped up things professionally, and saved a bit more, then left. That's very, very reasonable. Very responsible, actually. I think that's exactly what I would have done if I was in the same situation. So I started freelancing photography full time and working part time at a local cafe to cover bills. Again, responsible because you gotta do what you gotta do. It ain't easy, but you have to do what you need to do to make ends meet. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. It's not glamorous, but I've never felt more at peace. And that is the important thing. Your peace is everything. Peace is everything. Here's the issue: my family is furious. I think I actually quite expected that, to be honest. And I knew that was coming up. Um, they say I'm throwing away everything I worked for, that I'm being selfish, immature, and reckless. My mum cried when I told her that I wasn't going back to finance. My dad keeps sending me job postings just in case. Just in case. It sounds like you've made your mind up already. So, my sister told me that I'm making it harder for her because now our parents are putting pressure on her to be the responsible one. Oh, okay. So some friends get it. Some think I'm being impulsive. I feel good about my decision, but part of me wonders. Dot 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 wonders. Okay. Am I the problem for blowing up the life everyone else wanted for me just because it didn't feel right? Quite simply, you are not the problem. I think I want to start it there. You are not the problem. Part of me can also slightly relate to this. Some elements of this I can relate to, but in terms of like my professional um, career at the moment and where I'm at the moment, I'm not where I want to be. I'm still working towards that, and I know by God's grace we're going to get there. I believe that I'm going to get there. So that's not me saying I think I'm going to get there. That's me telling you and saying that I will get there. No matter how long it takes, I know exactly what I want, and I'll do whatever it takes to get to where I want. Anyways, let's go back to the story. So I did want to actually raise the point that you mentioned about quitting. I'm really glad that you said that you'd ensure that you first of all planned, sorted everything out professionally. You had arranged for like alternative, things that you could do, like jobs, to be able to cover your bills. Because at the end of the day, you have bills to pay, and those bills ain't going to pay themselves. When the landlord is knocking on your door, when the landlord is emailing you and calling you for rent, you have to cough up that money. You can't be making up excuses. And I mean, there are certain, I guess, exceptions that may be allowed and you can explain, but ultimately you're going to have to pay for the rent. So I really like that you had actually prepared and planned things to ensure that you weren't left in a position where you were struggling, because trust me, it is not a good position to be in. So, yeah, that was one thing I wanted to clarify and kind of just touch on a little bit, because it can be tough. It can be tough being stuck in a position or even a job, as it is in this case, which you absolutely hate. Waking up feels like a chore. Going to work is a chore in itself. And when you are already in that position, it is not a good place to be in. So trying to be very real with yourself and tell yourself, okay, this is not for me. I cannot continue to do this for the sake of my parents, for the sake of other people, for the sake of those that I work with, and you're allowing yourself to suffer inside, and you're letting this eat you alive. Whereas you know that, okay, I have something that I'm a lot more passionate about, something that I feel like I can excel in more and enjoy more. Like you've already said, peace is everything. Like, all for your peace. And if you are doing something that is just mentally draining, trust me, I've been through I've been through that. I've been through situations where I am doing things for other people, or you're like putting yourself in a situation where you're either pleasing others because you're afraid of what they're going to think. You might even be surprised. I think people can really surprise you. For me personally, I know, first of all, be when I went to university to study my undergraduate, I was always thinking, like, how am I going to tell my parents? How am I going to tell my parents that I want to go and study away from home? Like, how am I going to do that? Especially growing up in an African household, if you can relate to this, it is very difficult because your parents place so much emphasis on your education. That being said, though, I feel like my parents were a little bit more, they were strict, very strict. They definitely wanted me to go to university. I myself wanted to go to university because if it was a case of I didn't want to, I do believe that they would have definitely supported me, and they always, support me in everything that I do. But it was just kind of me telling myself what I think other people would think if I was to tell them what I wanted to do, which is not good at all, guys. I think when you're feeling something, don't think for other people. I don't know if that makes sense. So don't think about what you think they're gonna say. Just say, because you will honestly be so surprised. I know when I went to them, I was thinking, oh, they're probably not going to accept this. They're going to want me to stay at home. They're going to be so against me leaving, because I knew that that's what it was going to be. But then when I did, I said, like, I want to go to uni. These are the reasons why I want to go. This is what I want to study. I came with a clear plan and explained what I wanted to do. To my surprise, they was like, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Go and study, um, get that independence. And going to university was the best decision I ever made. I think till this day, I always tell myself, like, those 3 years undergraduate were honestly the best years of, like, my life. I know it was a difficult one because it was also during COVID that I went through that, which was a difficult time for everyone, not just me, everyone in the world. We were going through a very, very difficult time. So it's really me trying to say, to cut it quite short. Um, if you feel something, just go say it. You don't know what they're going to say. You will even be surprised, and they'll be for that and will support you in that. So I don't think you're the problem at all. Um, Definitely put your happiness, put your peace at the forefront of this now, because as you've mentioned, you're now doing something that you love, and when you do something that you enjoy and love, you will definitely see the benefits of this. That can be with your mentality. That would be the way that you feel mentally, physically. You're actually putting in the work into something that is a passion of yours, as this is like B&B is my passion project. This is my baby. I'm really putting everything into this because I want this to really grow. I want us to grow, a community. So yeah, put in your piece first, because trust me, going into work is a struggle. There are times that I feel that right now, but because I know what I want, and I know where I want to be, and at the moment it's not where I want to be, so I need to take the steps that I need to take to get to the end goal, which is that. And then also, just, I guess, yeah, just taking that leap of faith, going with it. You never know, you'll then look back a few years later and think to yourself, why did I not do it sooner? Why did I leave it till now? You really don't want to look back and regret any of these decisions. So if you really have that feeling, that conviction in you right now to be able to do that, go for it. Go for it. I think people will always, have something to say because it's not what they're used to seeing. But eventually, they always come round once they see you're doing something that is good. As long as you're not harming anyone, it's really down to you what you do. And yeah, like I was also saying, there's a bit of there is a contention here between your happiness and the happiness of others. You've got to balance that as well and think to yourself, I'm not harming anyone. I'm really making a decision that is good for me, based on something that I really enjoy and want to take. Although, again, these things are real. These happen. You can be in a well-paid job. You might be at where you wanted to be by the age of 30, and you're earning, a good salary. You're on your way to promotion. You've got a family. You've got a home. It's all looking great. And then you're thinking, oh my goodness, like I've got all of this. There are people who would die to be in the position that I'm in, but I have all of this, and you're filled with this sense of guilt, that if you make this decision, that you're a bad person. You're not a bad person. At the end of the day, it's life. It is what it is. You've just got to stand by the decision you're making, go with it, and if it's truly what you're meant to be doing, and if that's truly your purpose, then it is going to flourish, and you will notice, a huge change, and there'll be a form of like longevity in that as well, because that will be something you'll see yourself doing for a long period of time. And I think that's probably a good place to wrap it up. I guess just maybe final words from me. Maybe a little bit of a moment, of a tough moment. So is go for what you want. Stop pleasing other people. Stop doing things for the benefit of others. Oh, let me take that one back a little bit. Go for what you want. Not every time you're going to need to do things for other people. Sometimes in life, you're going to have to put yourself first. I've had to learn this the hard way. I've had to learn this the hard way. I'm telling you. I will repeat that one more time. I have had to learn this the hard way. It isn't easy. I'm still learning. There are still situations where I find myself, finding it difficult to say how I'm feeling or to express this and take certain decisions. But you have to do it. You have to do it. I really cannot be sat in my house at the age of 30 looking back and regretting decisions that I didn't take, all because of the fear of what other people would think. Absolutely not. Not over here. Not over here. So if that is you, if you're in a similar situation, please get up, go forward, make that decision, and grab it with both hands and keep moving. And I really pray that, you have people who are supportive around you, because that makes it all really easy. And I really hope you have, whether that's family members, whether that is friends, or just someone you can go to, or people you can go to that will really support your passions and that you go forward. I think that is actually a great place to end this episode. Back again next week for another episode. Guys, we're getting towards the end, but it's all great. I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving every minute. I'm taking it all in. But I'm going to wish you all a great week. We'll see you again next week. Remember, like, comment, subscribe down below. Make sure you like, follow, and comment on Spotify. Make sure you're following us on Spotify, guys. Make sure you are following on YouTube and you're commenting. Let's interact. TikTok and Instagram is Being B Podcast on there. The link's in the bio. We're going to put some more information in the description. Make sure you're following. Anyways, peace out. Toodles. Bye.